Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is you're watching, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new video. In this video, we are going to talk about something. This week, I showed you a small clip of something on my car. Today, I'm going to give you some insight and some clarification about what that something is. And that will allow me to give you some perspective of how we create and how we test products. And with testing, I mean finding the performance and limitations of a product. Testing means I perform a certain test on a certain type of substrate like paint. I prepared it in a certain way, and then I will forward this test to somebody else, and this test is then repeated in the same manner. And if we come to the similar results, the chances of getting to a true product are becoming a lot bigger. And that's why I'm very hesitant sending products to other people to test out. Because when we talk about testing, we need to talk about facts and science, and not about what we feel, what we think, or what we believe. Because those three things count into the category of subjectiveness. That means if the word slick or gloss or smell is being mentioned, that means it is the perception of the person smelling, seeing, and feeling this. And if you are for example, let's take a woman that is generally more soft than a man. Her vision of what slickness is probably different than what a man is. We are a little bit more rugged, so something becomes easier soft to us than to women. That being said, this something started already, I think, 2 years ago. And one person in that reel answered the question correctly, but the formula that he has, or he had, or if he still has it, is already completely changed. It is something. You could say it is something in the range of a spray coating. You could say it's something like a quick coating. You could say it's something like a easy coating. Now, first of all, this video showing behind me is showing exactly what this product is doing. And to give you some context, the roof has been PPF'd, there is no coating on there. The hood has been blindoed, and on that hood is that something. On the fenders, on the trunk, and on the rear fenders, there is a different version of this something. Something with 10% solvent extra, something with 15% solvent extra. First, we have this formula, we have this product that we are going to try out, and we are going to test it. And we're going to test first to get it on successfully. When we have done that, then we are going to do some chemical resistant test, and it's especially the chemical resistant test for the washing. And it is about the performance of the coating. It's not so much about the scratch resistant, it's to see how much beating of chemicals can this coating take. And when we do that in Labocosmetica, we use something without any lubrication. So this product is a strong degreaser, highly caustic, melts aluminum, and then we use this in combination with a wash mitt, and then we do wash cycles. So I use the left and right motion only. This is going to help me show where the coating is going to fail. And that failure is a little bit difficult to see, but as soon as you do this more and more and more, you are going to see often similar things that you have done through these testing. So when you see hydrophobics fail, you can clearly see, right behind me, you can clearly see how hydrophobics are failing. They are failing where they are losing particles of the coating being rubbed off the surface. Now this something, as the formulation is right now, to me is the greatest spray coating I've ever seen in my life. The problem alone is the detailing culture of today does not want good, great, epic, legendary, or fantastic. Everybody wants easy, simple, fast, and cheap preferably. And this to me is extremely difficult because I want to make the best products. I remember the detailers that just got their hands on the original Blindo that was pretty difficult to apply. You had to use a wet microfiber to get off the Blindo for leveling, as what the people call it. And some of the detailers were hesitant and said, this is really difficult, but there was a huge group of detailers that was convinced that if it's difficult to put on, it has to be good. It has to be good. It's doing something. You can feel it during the application. So the chemical test is done. We now know a little bit about the resistance. We have one test that has to be repeated many times to find out if it's actually something true, or is it on a specific paint, or was it because of the specific temperature. But then comes the application, and then we are going to look for application issues like doing it outside, doing it on warmer, not hot surfaces, because putting coatings on hot surfaces, there are not many coatings that can do that successfully, but at least at warmer surfaces, we need to find out. And then comes an issue that is also when we started changing solvents. So if you remember that HPC 2.0 has a specific type of solvent inside that doesn't make it sticky or greasy right after application. There's not much to air out or to disappear or to volatilely evaporate because the solvent is very delicate. And now we have a different type of solvent in this product, in this something. And it was the challenge to find out if we change the solvent from the first formulation into a different formulation to see if that solvent is becoming sticky. So what I did is I go outside in the factory grounds in the back. I apply the products in direct sunlight on a warm surface, not on a hot surface. Still manageable, especially the pure version was very strong, very difficult to apply, but also easily fixed. And after that, it becomes interesting to see, okay, so you have done an application. How much time needs to be in between before you can put the car outside? So I'm not going to wait any second. I immediately do after the application. I take my car, I drive in the background of the Labocosmetica grounds, in the Mafra factory grounds, and I start driving back and forth, starting to accumulate sand and dust from the sandy roads. And that is okay, and that the product is still performing well, and that there's no stuff on the car, and that the dust is sticking, and that the dust is easily removed with some air, some wind air, some compressed air, something like this. And if we have finalized that, then we are slowly moving into a final product. But as I said, these are now just my findings. These findings then have to be transferred directly to Fabio or the other way around, as I have another testing bottle right here in the studio that is also maybe finalized if we can come onto common grounds during the testing. So we have done some chemical testing, some wash testing versus chemical resistance, and then we have done some application testing, warmer surfaces, different type of solvent amount in the product. And then last but not least, maybe the most important one, the real life testing. And as you saw that video last week where I showed you the performance of the product as it is right now, we have clocked up to the 11,000 kilometers or the 5,000 miles, something like almost 6,000 miles, let's say like that. And the coating is performing extremely well. And now I am at this point where I'm thinking, holy crap, this is truly the greatest spray coating I've ever seen in my life. And the benchmarks are already been tested for a long time. And everybody knows I have a high respect for a product like CanCoat for being so successful for such a long time. And to beat that, and that product has so many great capabilities, is very difficult. And it's challenging. But that challenge for us is going to lead to something else. And that something is going to come. I hope very soon, because I think words like game changer have been broken many times. They have been used for products that are absolutely not game changers, absolutely mediocre, basically most mediocre products that I've ever seen. So, but this truly is a game changer in spray coatings. I mean, finding something like this and then saying, okay, I already said this is like a dream come true. I cannot believe we've made something like this. Just take this formula, just make 1,000 bottles. I will find the detailers that are going to do this product. They are going to be blown away, and they will not care that they have to do a little bit more effort of an application. If 1 hour extra work is going to lead to 1 year of extra protection just by doing the correct decontamination and the right application and giving it time to air out, because this product was finished after 22 hours of curing. 22 hours, in less than 22 hours, it was ready to go to take on anything from outside. So the application, we are almost there. The performance, I'm already convinced. I mean, how easy this coating, and I've not done anything special in maintenance. I did 2 bucket washes of Purifica. I've got another product, one from the PPF line that I was testing. I've used that product. For the rest, in performance-wise, okay, scratch resistance is almost nothing. I mean, you really are going to be dependent on your wash technique to keep the aesthetics perfect. So, bird dropping protection, medium to low. I'm not expecting anything from a product like this. This is something that has to go on top. I believe that if you have a product, aftercare product, on top of a ceramic coating, they are always far from each other. So for example, let's say HPC 2.0 has polysiloxanes in it, and we are going to use a maintenance product that has polymers in it. Now, although they are related somewhere in the family, very far away in the stem tree, they are very far away, but they are family. Are they the best relatives to live together on top of that car? Is that topping product really suitable for that coating? I've seen many times, and I've tried this also many times, by using a coating and then putting on a quick detailer, and I see what happens. You get the performance of the quick detailer. 2 weeks later, you see the quick detailer starting to die. Then immediately assume, hey, the coating under there might as well be dead as well. But if you wait a couple of weeks before that quick detailer starts to deteriorate and disappear from the surface, the original hydrophobics of the ceramic are back. So I think if we can make this product closer related to the actual raw material inside of the ceramic, and then use it only on the parts where the coating is going to fail first, on the back of the car, on the back bumper, front bumper, side of the car, right behind the wheels. That's why, okay, in that video you saw the hood performing. That is not very impressive after 10,000 kilometers. I mean, it's a freaking joke that you show an update of a coating, say the coating is 10 years old, and you give me an update of 3 months. That's literally less than 3% of the entire duration of the car for the coating, and then you show the performance. So it's okay, 3 months and 10 kilometers. You drove 10 kilometers in 3 months. It's not impressive. Mileage is impressive. Anyway, I've been driving through Switzerland in the winter. I've been driving to Germany with the snow and the wet and everything and all nightmare. 966 kilometers from my house to Milan and back. So just to visit my son is 2,600 kilometers. Back to Milan, from Milan to my son. I'm sorry, from my house to my son, from my son to my house, and then back to Milan. And that is a perfect area and a perfect opportunity to try products and to see them really perform in real life and to see where they failed the first. Oh, it's a long story. I hope I still have your attention. Maybe I could distract you with some pictures and some videos at the background. This was a small insight into something we are creating. Now the follow-up question will say, when will it be ready? I need it, I understand. Yes, but because of this new culture, the fast, easy, simple, and cheap culture, we have to work longer before we finish a product. If the culture changed into epic, legendary, awesome, and greatness back into the products, we might release stuff earlier. But I hope the culture is going to go for quality over quantity. Because, I mean, I love detailing. But at some point, if I have a ceramic coating, I don't want to top it off with 27 different products. Because then the entire operation of the ceramic coating becomes obsolete. If it becomes less. So we already have great ceramics. We have the best maintenance system for your ceramics that actually keeps the ceramic alive. It's going to help you not use too much topping products or reduce the amount of topping products. And if we can add this product, this something special to this lineup, I think we have full closure. I cannot wait to see what this stuff can do on other surfaces other than paint. And during that finding, if I find something, so now we have this conversation with each other. Now you understand a little bit the tribulations that I have to go through to make products for the culture, the detailing industry. And with this insight, I'm going to follow up on this. So you will get some reels with the performance of the product, how it's performing. And you know me, I'm going to do ice cold. So I will never over-exaggerate any results, because if I can achieve something, you should be able to achieve the exact same thing. No differences in foam, no differences in performance, no differences in beading. If you do what I do, you should have the same results. Okay, guys, another video done. I'm going to start moving stuff around. And next week we will be back in Italy. And then we are going to do some other type of content, I hope, if the studio is eligible for taking in some cars. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Ciao.